We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Most weight loss plans are one size fits all, not taking into account each person's individual needs. Noom, on the other hand, is built for your psychology and your biology, meeting you where you are. Noom Weight uses psychology, and that's why they say losing weight starts with your brain. But it also takes into account your unique biological factors, which also affect weight loss success. The program helps you understand the science behind your eating choices and why you have cravings. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. That's Noom.com.
So I have the Christmas lights. They're Little Duke's Mayo lights.
Ooh.
What is this? Okay. Look, it's wrapped. Oh, guys.
Is it?
I think that's the neon sign.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
So that's
Duke's
gonna go
neon sign.
there, I think. Every good streamer, you got to have neon in the back.
Well, you put the light on while you're
Oh my
recording.
God.
It's like your MCR
Yes.
now recording sign.
That's right. Yes, we're
I've got
recording in the
the
studio.
yard signs.
Ooh.
It's Duke country. You have yard signs. All right.
Oh, I would confuse my neighbors so much.
I got stickers. I got Tubby. I got tote bags.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Ooh, reusable shopping
Smooth
bag.
and creamy.
Oh,
We love a tote.
yeah. I mean, who doesn't? That's mayo. Yes.
Mayo.
That's more mayo.
Squeezy mayo.
Squeezy mayo. Would it be better in the mayo dump if they just sat there and like squeezed a bunch on them?
I'm reminded of the Heinz Easy Squeeze commercials because that's pretty much the vibe.
Yeah, you get a bunch of like fresh things of mayo, and you do like a mayo fountain. Like you have a bunch
See?
of
Okay.
interns all squeezing the mayo at the
Okay,
same time.
somebody gets married at the Mayo Bowl next year, and then as soon as they're done, instead of throwing like or blowing bubbles, it's just like
Just
the groom's party just
start the email to Miller right now. Just
Okay.
open the email and we're gonna work
Okay.
on this.
But counter argument. People squeeze in mayo into one of those like money falls around like the tanks where the air shoots up, and you have to try
Yeah.
to catch as much mayo with your human body as you can.
okay.
I was thinking
Like the mayo.
Does
money
mayo
machine?
blow like
Yes.
that?
Only one way to find out.
I mean,
Listen, if you put enough psi through that thing, anything will fly.
Imagine the sound though, as it sort of like slurps into clothes. Oh no.
No, it's like a rattly one though. Like you have to do that, but do the cheek thing.
the one I'm thinking about is then Arthur. I know you have experience with food fountains.
Oh, a mayo
I've never
fountain.
had a mayo fountain.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh god.
No, I work in catering. I've done the chocolate fountain.
Yeah.
I've done the nacho cheese fountain with
Yeah.
Rico's cheese.
So
that
now?
works. Mayo.
Think about the way that would
I think-
smell.
I
I
feel
mean-
like
I've been
Jordan knows exactly how it would smell.
yeah,
Can we
mayo. I
like,
think mayo would be too thick.
Not
Like,
if you use a paint mixer.
No, you could basically you gotta like stir it good before you
you
put it
aerate
in the fountain. But like the condensed cheese that we would get with the Ricos, like that's thick as mayo.
It's-
I'll let
thick,
you
but
use
you
my
heat
angle
it and it
grinder. It
becomes a
gets
lot
plenty
Yeah.
enough
easier.
RPMs.
Do we
You'll have no
know?
problem.
Do we know what happens to hot mayo? Has anyone attempted to heat enough mayo to know what it behaves like when it is hot?
I mean,
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, physicists
not
follow
good.
us. They know about. I'm sure there is a gaseous mayo out there, theoretical.
so are you wondering if this becomes like a
A plasma
napalm, like
mayo.
a jellied gasoline situation?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that it superheats on the inside and then it just explodes
Oh.
the moment you break the surface tension?
Oh, if it covers your arm, how'd you get a third degree burn? Mayonnaise.
So
Mayo.
wait,
Wild.
And then never answer another question about it.
maybe hot mayo is Greek fire. Maybe that's what Greek fire was.
This is what Pythagoras was talking. Not Pythagoras. Was that Pythagoras was talking about it?
I think so.
I don't know. My reference point for this is Timeline, the Michael Crichton thing.
Oh yeah. Hey, that was a great book. By great, I mean it was a Michael Crichton book.
And then immediately a movie starring Paul Walker.
Imagine
That was the issue.
No, I mean my thing, like I just don't know, like, because the thing with a fountain, if you have something that's too thick that doesn't have, I don't know what the term is, like the fluidity, like your fountain will like kind of blow the motor out because like it's working too hard, right? Because you have to have basically like a I don't know what to call it. It's like a ramp that spins around, like it's
An
a
auger,
circular
yeah.
thing. An auger, that's the word I'm looking for. That takes the stuff from the bowl of the fountain up to the top, where then it can cascade down. So if it's too thick, then that will be working too hard, and you'll blow the motor.
Correct.
you use an
If you want to
Archimedes
use a
screw to
stock
figure-
motor, but I'm saying we mod the thing.
Okay.
Motors come in many sizes.
This feels like an episode of Home Improvement that just goes really, really
That
wrong.
is the most uncle of us all. We just have to really fully admit this because I would have never considered augmenting this motor, but Beth went there.
So there are a
Like more.
couple of industrial like rotisserie motors that you could do this with that I think would keep it from becoming
Har-
a mayonnaise flinger, which is what I don't think you want.
no, you know.
But
Excuse
No.
you, I will go into war with my mayonnaise flinger.
I mean, there's a couple of restaurant supply stores that I know of that sell to normies, and we probably can get something that's at least kind of food grade.
I live very
It's not
close to
even
a
that I'm an
restaurant
uncle.
store.
I mean, I am, but like it's also that like I have that Appalachian chaos gene.
Well, listen, Dukes, I know that like your existing trophy for the Dukes Mayo Bowl has gotten some pretty famous moments.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying, right? Like you could put like a plaque on like the base of the fountain,
Yeah.
with like like Dukes Mayo Bowl, like the winner, like all that, and then the trophy is like a fountain that has been modified so that it will work with Dukes Mayo.
We can definitely figure this out. I'm not sure what I
We
like
got the off
better.
season.
I'm not sure if I like the idea better of us figuring this out and giving it to Dukes, and Dukes obviously being thrilled at our wonderful innovation, or at all of the colleges then who are stuck forever with something in their trophy room that they have to supply power to and probably service regularly.
Welcome,
Because
everyone.
nobody wants to see an empty fountain ever.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sales Committee Podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of January 14th, 2025. That cold open. Back to peak form, people. We are on peak form. As always, I am Jordan. With me tonight, I have Kamish, Pit Girl, Beth, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Beth, how are you?
What are you talking about? I'm fine.
Beth is going to respond to things tonight with groans and mumbles, I believe.
Yes, her voice is limited,
Yeah.
but she is still here.
I got this,
Unfortunately,
guy.
it seems like Beth might be a country with many diseases.
These things do happen.
Yeah.
Pit Girl, how are you?
It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday indeed.
Happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's right. Yes.
Kamish?
All right. It is Tuesday. The winter break contagion at the daycare has like broken loose. Like Friday there was a report of strep, then there was a report of flu, and then unfortunately the near 2-year-old has gotten the flu. So we have the flu in the house. I feel like my wife is dangerously on the edge of getting the flu herself, and we're trying to maintain the other half of the house to not get the flu. So, wish us luck.
The boys
I'll
club,
say
if
that.
you will.
Yes, the boys have been hanging out a bit. We were talking about the history of monster trucks, and him explaining to me what happened between Bigfoot and Gravedigger, and why Gravedigger is with Monster Jam, and I'm like, okay, thank you.
Is this like the Cajun talking about Rome?
It's a Roman Empire, yes.
It's like,
I'm just imagining you being like, do not cite the deep magic to me, which
he knows it more than me. I'm gonna say that.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah, this is like his Pokemon.
okay.
Is monster trucks. So he's a big.
Does he know about Pokemon?
He does know about
Okay.
Pokemon. He has like a Pokemon deck.
Okay.
But like I don't like he hands me one and I'm like I don't know what to do. So but with the monster trucks, we do have Monster Jam coming up in a couple weeks, and I'll be taking him to that again. Hopefully it's not like 28 like last year. But yeah, he's thrilled for that, and he got the good report card, so he earned it this year.
I'm going to say that I was very disappointed in my son's report card
The whole.
because he only was in 87th percentile of growth, but that's because he was in 99th percentile both first quarter and second quarter on his grades. My kid's awesome. Pew, pew, pew.
Shut up, Ivy Leaguer.
That's how they report grades now.
So
It's growth.
We get standards-based grading, which is a 1 to 4, basically, whether you have mastered something or not. But then also they show your map scores and then your growth on your map scores. And they rate both of those by percentiles. So not only is your percentile based on how well you do, it's how well you grew as well. Beth, just gnashing teeth over here.
I'm just waiting for all these like analytics to be like, okay, like what's your learns above replacement?
That's what I was thinking.
Your LAR.
Yeah.
Your LAR. That's right.
How many? What's your plus minus?
I can't wait for a new breed of overachieving child who now has anxiety, not only about grades in general, but about having not improved enough over an already good score.
Mhm.
But I learned to tank this. I learned this in first grade because we had reading group, and it was based on how well you read out loud, but it was from the first time you read the paragraph to the last time you read the paragraph. So even though I could read pretty well, I stumbled and stuttered the first
You
time.
just like moo.
Oh, it was like painfully slow, like 9-10 minutes of out loud. And then I do it in 30 seconds on Friday. Miracle.
You're gaming the system.
I am having so many unpleasant flashbacks to elementary school right now. Thank you.
Sorry.
Can you please tell your Department of Education that they need to get with the times and do an appropriately notated chart for kids so that we can see like, you seem to miss question number 13 a whole lot. Gonna have to improve in just that test question.
He can't hit the corner 3.
No.
I mean, I think we should, just to like really build kids up, make them tougher. Like we should have like sports talk style pundits, but about kids. I
don't
think he
make
can
kids
answer
enough. This
the
is
big
right.
question. When it's crunch time on the
well-
SATs.
All right. The kiddo had a pepperoni and cheese sandwich for lunch with some Doritos. He kind of fell apart in the afternoon after recess.
This
gotta
kid
analyze
is
this.
this kid's the Dwight Howard of test takers, and he's just back there like throwing down chiclets as fast as he can, and then he hits that carb crash and he's done. You get to question 20 and down he goes.
There he goes.
This is why I want to watch old episodes of Legends of the Hidden Temple with you guys and comment on them live so we can sit there and complain about 12-year-olds' performances.
That's a thing we could do on Twitch.
You understand that will
What
be
are you
the
doing?
angriest I've ever been on this show.
Oh, of
I
course.
will be in incoherent rage.
Can we watch Guts too?
We can't do
Sure.
that because John Boy is already doing that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's fair. I just want to talk about the aggro crag.
I do want
Who
to
doesn't?
mention. This is why I like Legends of the Hidden Temple better, is because the format of the temple runs change every episode or very often, so it gives you a little more things to talk about. We'll get there. I do want to say that one of the things we're planning on doing this off season is doing some more movie rewatches or watching for the first time. Last season we watched the movie Time Cop, a
Yes.
Jean-Claude Van Damme classic that we all enjoyed. For some
Mhm.
definition
A
of
great
enjoy.
deal of time and cops, as I recall.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
Jean-Claude Van Damme doing a split on a countertop for some reason.
Yes.
With them
yes. In his
cakes, I
boxers.
remember.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I realized that we should probably watch his Die Hard movie, which is the one where he is a firefighter at the Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup game.
Yes.
But
Sudden death.
that one's not as easily available. We'll have to figure that out. But until then,
By as easily available, you mean as free.
as free. Yes.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
it's
look,
not.
because I was gonna say, like, my copy I bought at the 24-hour Rite Aid on Atwood.
There we go. We'll just pass
Yeah.
around. We're gonna pass Arthur's copy around like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
It was after a Pitt basketball game. They'd lost, and I was just stopping at Rite Aid, like, after the game on my way home, and I actually saw some of the players in there, and I also saw a copy of. It's not just Sudden Death; it's 4 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
That's so many.
There's a 4-pack.
I think I've only actually even watched 2 of them off of there. I've watched Sudden Death and I've watched Hard Target,
Okay.
and those are the ones I feel like I need to watch.
Because every podcast is someone's first, I do feel that it's important that Arthur had to specify which Rite Aid that is, because there are 2 on that corner at Forbes and Atwood. There is the one on Forbes, and then you go around the corner onto Atwood, and that one is not the one on Forbes has the pharmacy in it. It is not 24 hours. Then you go on to Atwood. There's Dave and Andy's Institution ice cream shop, and then there is more Rite Aid, which is technically a separate Rite Aid that is open 24 hours and next to the liquor store. Atwood Rite Aid is the good Rite Aid.
I've always assumed that was there simply because one of them gets a little windier than the other one, has been my experience, and I did not enjoy the windy Rite Aid.
It's so they can like have a full Rite Aid, but like close half of it down at night. That's basically the setup.
And because they couldn't move Dave and Andy's.
Until we find an easier way to do that, though, I think our first movie, I'm going to decide unilaterally, we're going to go sports movie here. Because on YouTube, there is a bootleg copy of the garbage-picking, field-goal-kicking Philadelphia Phenomenon, a TV movie starring Tony Danza, available. So I think we're going to go with that first.
Okay, and when is this homework due?
I don't know yet. Because next Tuesday...
I'm going to be in Atlanta, so...
Next Tuesday, we're going to talk about the game, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that that's going to be for the Sunday after that.
Okay.
That would be Sunday the 26th.
Mm-hmm. And that also gives you all day Monday before the national championship game to watch the movie if you, like me, have the day off for Martin Luther King Day.
Or you could watch it instead of the national championship game.
It's true.
True.
Yeah. If that game ends up being a blowout, I may go on Twitch. So let's talk about things that actually are college football related. Clemson has hired Penn State's DC away, which feels like a very good get for Clemson. Penn State's defense has been very solid. I mean,
Tom Allen is pretty good generally. Shout out to that time when Indiana was good before this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I am quite certain that James Franklin will have no trouble replacing yet another coordinator.
He's getting good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
You've unlocked a hidden skill.
I mean, has he, or are we about to see the most incredible mean reversion we've ever seen?
Aren't you so excited to find out, though?
What if he hires Todd Grantham?
The problem is Todd Grantham got hired by somebody else.
That's never stopped anybody before.
Brian
Who hired Todd Grantham?
Mike Gundy.
Of course he did.
Where in the world is Todd Grantham?
I believe so. Yep, Oklahoma State. That's right.
Matching mullets. Matching mullets.
Matching mullets. That's
Wow.
right.
His picture on Wikipedia. It's just him looking so grumpy in Georgia gear.
It does look like Brian Van Gorder is coaching high school ball in Florida right now.
Yeah, that
So
sounds
you're
right.
telling me he's available?
Basically.
I'm just glad Mike Gundy got hired Grantham because he was on the Saints staff for the past 2 years. Like the New Orleans Saints, he was the defensive line coach.
That's a bad idea.
It was. You saw the Saints record the past 2 years?
Things aren't going great.
No, they weren't. I mean, they were 2-0, and I don't remember what happened the rest of the season.
Looks like Brian Van Gorder. Sorry, it looks like now he's DC at Gulf Shores High School in Alabama. I believe that's where Mark Hudspeth went as well.
I'm still stuck on Todd Grantham's Wikipedia page, and I like also that because he is now at Oklahoma State, it says Oklahoma State 2025 to present. We are 2 weeks into 2025. It should just say present.
I mean, he's there. It lets you know when he got hired, I guess. I don't know. I'm just stuck on what was it, Gulf Shores, Alabama, because I think that's the town that's like fictionally the setting for the movie The Hurricane Heist.
I don't know that one.
Oh.
Who's the star of that one?
Maggie Grace, the daughter from the Taken movies.
Okay. Yeah, I know her. Arthur, your knowledge of mid-grade movies I think
mid-grade might be high for The Hurricane
You
Heist.
can say bad. You can.
I will be upfront with you and the listeners. I had the realization like a week ago that we were coming up on the 1-year anniversary of watching Time Cop, and I was like asking Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend if he had watched that movie with me, and he was like, "No, I did not do that. Why did you do that?" And the only response I had was, "Arthur likes bad action movies."
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't? Like, I mean, you give me a bad action movie, I'll just watch it.
I
Like,
also enjoyed the bad action movie, to be clear.
Oh, God. They're great.
Another bit of news, as we pull in things from across the country, across the world, really.
Yes.
Soccer news.
Now,
Soccer sickos. I don't know if you guys know this. I am an AS Roma fan.
Oh,
they made Rome.
They made the
fucking.
They made the preseason, the way too early preseason that everybody took kind of seriously. Apparently,
Horns down.
Wolves down.
Confused horns.
Wolves down.
Wolves down.
Their rival is Lazio.
Yes.
And Lazio, let's say, was a favorite of Mussolini and his friends.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't necessarily look into the history of this club. This is
a thing that I do enjoy very much about European soccer, is that you have like
you just find the best
here is your leftist club. Here is your Nazi.
This is like like if you learn the history of Lazio, there's a lot of like collar pulling stuff. You're like, oh.
There's also the fact that their logo looks fascist.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, like my only exposure to European soccer is like Football Manager, but like even I know what Lazio's deal is.
Okay, all right.
So Lazio, surprise, surprise, they have an eagle. And they have an eagle. They have an eagle. Well, an eagle handler.
Is it a falconer?
Well,
there's a whole lot of present tense in these sentences.
Yes. Well,
I'm gonna read just the Reddit.
Read the headline, please.
Getting there.
Lazio have fired their falconer after he willingly published a video on Instagram showing his penis after getting a prosthesis, claiming his sexual life will now get better. Period. The eagle won't fly at the stadium anymore. Period.
Can I tell you that the eagle won't fly at the stadium anymore is my new favorite euphemism for I just got a vasectomy?
I mean, he went the other way. He upped his, I think, like childbearing or child fathering capacity.
I don't know that. There's been too much talk on Twitter about fertility. Anyways, we need to not talk about that.
So,
but yeah,
there is one word in this headline that I zoomed in on immediately, and that word is willingly.
Yep. Yes.
This implies that if he was held at gunpoint
Oh no, I fat fingered
Yeah,
putting my dick on
my dick
Instagram.
video.
I butt dialed putting my dick on Instagram.
I mean, what's also great to me is that like, oh, this is Lazio's standard. Like this is what gets you in hot water with them.
Oh, by the way, there's an update to the story. The person that performed the procedure has also been let go too, because apparently it was a club.
It was just a guy.
It was associated with the club, like a doctor associated with the club.
Okay, I was about to be like, so is this just like a guy? Are we doing back alley dick implants?
I mean, I was imagining. Do you guys remember that kid that
Trevor
was
in
like
accounting.
pretending to be a doctor? You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was imagining. But yeah, I mean, and they said that cancel culture's over.
I so badly want to imagine that this is somebody who is like, like one of their accountants who, like, yep, I had him cut my dick open and put a slap bracelet in there. All better.
This isn't the first time. This is a quoting from Awful Announcing. This isn't the first time Bernabé has run afoul of Lazio standards. In 2021, the Falconer was suspended after a video captured him chanting "Duce, Duce, leader, leader." Yep. So there's the fascism, but also
I like how they suspended him, but then we're like, actually, you know what? That's fine. We're gonna let you back.
I will say I can think of a landing point for an eagle handler like this.
I mean, the inauguration's on the 20th, so.
Oh, that wasn't where I was going.
Oh, Jesus.
I was going further south.
Okay.
I also want to say
like Argentina. I mean, where we going?
No, like like a school in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
War Eagle, damn Eagle,
War Eagle.
But I didn't realize Texas A&M had an eagle mascot. Is that new?
I do want to
Not
say
the school I'm talking about. Different SEC program.
He did mention this about his thing. This is a quote, his defense. First, nudity is normal. I grew up in an open-minded family of naturists. I don't understand what's pornographic about this photo. Next paragraph, I had the surgery to increase my sexual performance because I am very active. My erection is normal, but with this device, I press a button that allows me to able to perfectly control both the erection and the duration. He's got a robo dick. Go gadget dick.
I just hit this button on this app and can I just say that every picture most of the pictures I can find of this guy
questions that I don't want answers to.
Mm-hmm. He's very active. Now imagine everything I said, but in Italian, because he said this in Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So it really, I don't love Silvio Berlusconi. I don't think anyone does. But that man definitely had a history. And I feel like
recently, right?
Yeah, I hope so. Well, that would make sense. But the fact that this came up and this is just so fucking Italian.
I love that the quote that said why they I'm sorry, I'm bothered by the European version of firing. It just says sacked, and then we're talking about a prosthetic penis. It's throwing me off.
It's fine.
It's throwing me off. So the quote from Lazio said that the pair were sacked, which is it threw me off. All right, like they talk about the doctor and the falconer, and it says the pair were sacked. And I'm like, damn it! I'm just reading.
An operetta, a short operetta. The falconer and the eagle. We do a quick little one-act version of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
At La Scala, I think La Scala would let us do this.
Oh, definitely.
Basically said he was fired for I can't. Okay, he was fired for violating Lazio's code of ethics, which requires behavior that reflects the true values of the sport.
Yeah,
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
In the UK, if you get fired, does that count as negative rushing yards?
Only if you're in college while you get fired.
Don't make me bring up sack yardage again.
So today, while other people in this podcast were doing things that were useful to society, like
Yes.
David, her day job, or Kamish taking care of children. When I was on YouTube this morning, when I was waiting for something to finish uploading, I came across a training video for Skyline Chili. And if you don't know, listeners, Skyline Chili is the premier brand of Cincinnati chili, the fast food Cincinnati chili. Cincinnati chili is apparently an Eastern European Macedonian thing. I think Macedonians were the ones that came up with it. And when I say Macedonian, I'm going to let you guys, listeners, you decide which Macedonia I'm referring to. This chili has lots of cinnamon in it and things like that in it. It's a little more spice. It has notes of like warm spices and watery and things like that. But the training video is great because it is annotated like John Madden. And one of the things they talk about a lot is fluffing the cheese.
Man, right after that
Don't
story,
like that.
you talk about fluffing.
Don't like
I'm
that.
Don't
I
like
mean-
that.
So what you're supposed to do is you take a fork of the spaghetti and you lay it real even.
Mhm.
One full ladle of chili on top. You make sure you get every ounce of that chili. You drop your wrist. It's a very important technique to pour the chili on. But then you fluff the cheese and then put a, quote, oval of cheese, a dome of cheese on top of the three-way. And it's a lot of cheese. Pick Girl, you're having trouble there? You okay there, boss?
A dome of cheese on top of a three-way after we've just spent 10 minutes
Yeah.
talking about an Italian falconer's dick.
And
That's
still
all.
going to somehow not be our horniest episode.
The fluffing aspect. I mean, I'm out of here.
Well, I learned that there is
We
a
do
wet...
have actual children who listen to this podcast, Jordan.
This is.
That is true.
Oh yeah, yikes!
This Skyline chili thing also showed me that there are special ways to order your Skyline.
Oh no.
Because there is a wet option. If you want extra chili juice, there's a dry option
Okay,
where they
no.
drain the chili juice.
Walking into Skyline Chili and ordering a dry three-way.
I
Exactly
would like
what
mine
everyone
freshly
wants.
squeezed.
I like the wettest five-way you got.
I mean, the one time, I've been to Skyline Chili once,
Mhm.
and I went in, and I mentioned that like I hadn't eaten there before because I was just talking to the the person at the counter, and she was like, "Oh, are you sure you want this?" she was really she was concerned. She was like, "Yeah, a lot of people when they try it for the first time, they don't like it." It's the only time I've ever been like in a restaurant ready to buy something and had like not just be like warned off of a particular menu item, right? Like that I could see, but
The
like,
entire thing.
the whole restaurant.
It's like they make you sign a waiver. I'm like, are you sure you want this?
Listen, honestly, if I have to sign a waiver, I'm like more interested in eating it, you know?
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I got it wrong. It's not called wet. It's called juicy.
That's
Oh,
worse.
a juicy three-way.
Yeah, you want it extra juicy.
Gah!
The video they have, by the way, I'm just going to share my desktop with you here for a second.
Okay.
We're about to get every virus.
This is them making a dry three-way. They're literally draining the chili juice back into the chili vat.
Oh, this is incredibly cursed.
The color is it is straddling the line between brown and gray
Mhm.
in a way that I associate with terminal illness.
I'm gonna click play on this and just let you guys.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
don't,
gonna say-
I don't want to hear this.
It's just look at all that juice. It's so much juice.
Do they at least wipe? They definitely don't wipe off the plate, do they?
No, they don't at all. There's the extra chili. There's lots of options here. There's the inverted, where you put the cheese under the chili.
Inverted ways.
Light
Oh.
and heavy. The graphics on this are great. This might be worth a watch just in general. I do want to mention the same guy posted several Skyline videos. The Coney video is great because it introduces us to something that I don't think we've ever really talked about before, the mustard stick. You take the mustard stick and you put mustard on your wiener.
I'm so upset right now. Listener, this person has taken what looks like the business end of a water pick and dipped it into mustard and then has simply laid it atop the chili, atop of this hot dog, and violated it with mustard in this way.
And this is like
And I like mustard.
like a Subway like container,
Mm-hmm.
very deep, full of mustard, just all the way full of mustard, and then you just have your mustard stick.
Yeah, this thing is fucking redolent with mustard.
Well, the thing you got to understand, guys, is how you actually get the wiener.
Nope.
No, and it's got to be like you make it like a canoe, which is definitely what I see here. It's a canoe. You take your thumbs and you jam open that canoe.
Listener, I want you to imagine a canoe. This shot is an aerial shot, and the canoe is oriented up to down, and that is all I will say about this particular shape.
You take your thumbs and you make that canoe, you spread it real wide.
Oh my God, Jordan.
Slow-mo.
No.
He's really getting in there with his thumb.
This guy is not allowed within 500 yards of a school. No.
Hello. Oh, and we've got a drawn-in arrow pointing down that says open.
Yeah. Still pretty close. There you go. Get
Here's
it in
the
there.
thing. Just statistically speaking, someone is going to listen to this podcast. They're going to go onto YouTube to find this thing, and they're going to find out they are in possession of an absolutely cursed fetish.
Oh my God.
You put it on the paddle.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Dip the mustard stick. Slow-mo mustard stick.
Slow-mo mustard stick.
Lorch. Working left to right.
That's it? Like he doesn't even he just.
Well, you notice it's about only getting the mustard on the dog. It never gets on anything else.
Okay.
Which will matter not at all in about a quarter of a second when he absolutely destroys this thing with chili.
Stir that chili. Here we go. It's all in slow motion. This is why it's so good.
Oh God, look at it slosh. Oh my God.
I know we're not listening to it. Is there narration?
There is. And then you just slurp it on there in the canoe. You fill the canoe up.
Hear the chili slurp.
Everybody who's ever been in a fully occupied bathroom at a stadium when the person next to them is having trouble knows what this sound is.
Oh, anyways, I love these two videos more than I can say. This got me
hungry for Skyline now.
I know. Hey, Skyline, you want to sponsor?
Sure?
No,
sure?
Definitely not.
This is not a place of honor. There is nothing of value here.
I'm already close enough to death. I don't need to tempt it that much today.
Oh.
So what did we learn?
I will not be setting foot in a Skyline chili anytime soon.
You don't want someone who's absolutely going to just run their thumbs up and down your bun?
Oh my God.
HR.
Hi there, HR.
Fuck.
I mean, why'd you ask it? What did we learn? Like it's a class. Are we getting graded on improvement now?
We got to get our stats up.
Oh my God, this is our quarterly review.
I will never change. I will never improve. That is a promise.
Did I get rated meets expectations?
I just got rated meats.
Meats.
I got the meat.
God.
Nope.
Okay. Ooh.
Let's canoe out of this skid.
Yeah.
Let's get the canoe out of here. God damn. I mean, okay, yeah, we need to move on.
Yeah, so I guess this is when we talk about our preview of the national title game, because this is the last time we'll talk to you guys before the game.
You mean that wasn't our preview?
Yeah.
You mean 20 minutes of Skyline chili preceded by 20 minutes of soccer team dick is not.
But you want to talk about Ohio State Notre Dame. Let's talk about our deep feelings about this game.
Actually, you know what? I think I would rather talk about Skyline chili. Never mind.
Can we watch more of that video?
I'm going back to looking for more sensual eagle pictures.
Did they not wear gloves in the 90s?
No. Late 80s, early 90s, I don't know.
I mean, when I think 90s gloves, I think if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. So clearly, if you're wearing gloves, you're guilty of a crime.
This dude's just handling the. I don't know, man.
He was aggressively making canoes.
I mean, he was. It just.
Oh,
got about a hot dog dinner first.
So, Ohio State Notre Dame. This game is the classic Midwest slobber knocker.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. Besides, it's probably gonna be a pretty good game. It's probably not gonna be a ton of points. I find it funny that the Midwest is the region of football superiority this year. That makes me very happy, just because it makes SEC people mad. And
2 years in a row, we've had a national championship game with no SEC team in it, which is actually kind of nice.
it's the first time that's happened since like early 2000s. It's been a long time. This feels like
Wait, no. The SEC is in the championship game as the referees.
That is true. And
Yeah.
at an SEC stadium, because they play a lot of games there.
Yeah, that's where they play the SEC championship.
It's clearly meant for an SEC team to be in this game.
SEC honk, Jordan.
Always.
Can I just make a confession here?
Yeah.
I burned up all of my SEC is out after the last round because I kept forgetting that Texas is an SEC team now.
Mhm.
So I got nothing left here.
You're out. Okay. Kamish, what strong feelings do you have about this game?
I mean, I kind of feel like Ohio State's the favorite, which, I mean...
I believe Vegas would agree with you there.
Yeah, I would say
Emphatically.
that. I remember Ohio State and Notre Dame playing an amazing game last year. And basically Notre Dame forgetting to have an 11th player on the field for the game-winning touchdown. Yeah. And that's when Ryan Day called out Lou Holtz. And where's Lou Holtz now? And they even asked him in the press conference, like, have you talked to Lou Holtz since your fiery press conference? And he just goes, no. Like, I mean, Ryan Day's not calling Lou Holtz.
No, why the fuck would you call Lou Holtz?
Lou's
getting ready for the inauguration, man. Lou's got other things to do.
Jesus
There's
Christ.
not even a joke there. That's just a true statement.
True. But like, man, I don't know. I feel like Ohio State's a favorite. I don't know if Notre Dame's going to be able to score enough points.
Kamish, when's the last time Notre Dame beat Ohio State?
Jeez, man. I remember Ohio State like crushed the crap out of them in a Fiesta Bowl a few years ago.
2 Fiesta Bowls.
Yeah. Like they got together. Like Ohio State's been like it. I feel like the last time Notre Dame beat Ohio State may have been when John Cooper was the head coach for Ohio State.
1936.
19 what?
36.
Now,
they haven't played that often. They haven't played that
Yeah,
often.
I was going to say that.
Okay.
They've only played,
Okay.
I think, like 8 times.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking that they played like as much as they played Michigan, but apparently not.
Yeah, it feels weird that they haven't
like
played more.
That game
like,
in
in
36 in South Bend ended 7-2.
Okay.
Oh,
I love those scores.
return with a V.
Here, I will say that Fiesta Bowl you're thinking about, Kamish, is important for a big reason there. It was the 2016 Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. Ohio State won 44-28. It was the Battle Frog Fiesta Bowl.
It was. That's why.
One and only, literally the one and only Battle Frog Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
This rivalry is not one. It feels like this team should have played 1,000 times.
They have played a bunch. This is like that game. You're just like they're right next door to each other, and then like they never played for whatever reason. Like Mizzou, like played Iowa State a ton, but like Mizzou never played Iowa.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, this is also very weird to me because like Pitt has played Notre Dame a lot in its history.
Yeah.
Pitt played Ohio State a lot in its history. It's still like Pitt's third most frequently played air quotes rivalry game, even though they haven't played since like 2000. Why are you going past Columbus?
I so wanted to be that like an athletic director got like real freaking mad at and just like wouldn't return their calls for 60 years.
Oh yeah, there's some sort of weird beef here. I could see it.
That Ohio State fan ate all of the canapes. We'll never play them again.
I mean, Notre Dame, like, they are an independent, so it would make sense that they would be playing teams that historically were also independent.
They played Purdue a ton. They played Michigan State a ton.
Yeah, I mean, they have certain teams that they have in the rotation more than others. Obviously, like those California schools they play every year. They have the ACC deal now where they play, I think, 4 or 5 games, something like that, against ACC teams. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me that they don't play
I
this game
wonder,
a ton.
because I'm looking at the map where South Bend, Indiana is, and that's like the northern part of Indiana. And if you look at a map right now, South Bend, basically there's interstate that goes like the top part of Ohio, just basically
Mhm.
like Toledo and Cleveland, and then like to Pittsburgh, like basically right that way. But if you look now, there's really not an interstate to get South Bend to Columbus, and that's nowadays. Like you'd have to take like a weird route and then some back roads to get there. So maybe that's the reason they didn't play too
Also,
often. Which,
trains.
yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna do a whole lot of train work in the off season. Train
you're
good,
talking
car
about train.
bad. We have reached train good, car bad. This podcast as well. It spreads.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're just
to be fair though, I feel like there's like it's not like you're on like 2-lane roads. Like there's some highways you have to take like some
yeah.
like state highways or whatever, but like it's still like a pretty direct shot. Like, you take the turnpike probably to like 75, go up 75 and cut over. I forget which route number it is, but it's pretty easy.
Yeah,
So
it's about 4.5 hours now. Yeah, through Fort Wayne and whatnot.
so we're looking at a game where this is, two. Are we going to say blue bloods? Is that the word we're going to use to describe this, or does
I
that
don't care about that word. I don't care.
Okay.
Just two historic programs is fine.
two historic programs? I mean, every
Yeah.
program's a historic program technically, but that's fine. Whatever.
See, that's why I like to do it because it's an equalizer.
And I think that just the most interesting thing here is that because they haven't played as often,
Mhm.
this has a little more juice. Even though they played in 2022, 2023 as non-con, well, or at least non-con for Notre Dame, but this does have a little bit of that, like, oh, these teams never play kind of like fun to it. So I'm excited just for even that little bit there. I'll be honest with y'all. Whenever there's a single game on, I always feel very weird. Having my attention on a single game feels very antithetical to how I enjoy this sport. So
Yeah.
bizarre. I always feel awkward watching a game.
So I'm gonna quad box it with all the different feeds.
Oh,
Mm.
what options do we have? Because guess what's not showing anything football related? The SEC network.
Ah.
Yeah, no SEC network feed. Let me see what they're actually showing for this
Let
one.
me see.
Skycam. I assume we'll get McAfee Cam as though you
I
would want
definitely
that.
not putting the sound on that one. I don't know if I could.
All 22 is probably an option.
Yes, all 22. I've heard complaints about the all 22. Although I think that one does have the ESPN radio call with it, which is better.
I like that.
Yeah.
I wish that the Skycam one, what I want more than anything, and ESPN never does it, is just traditional camera angles, just regular broadcast stuff, but sounds of the stadium. Like give me what you would give me on the main one, but without me having to listen to Kirk Herbstreit. That's all I want.
Okay.
I mean, that makes total sense. I would like that as well.
Yeah. So
I think they're going to have the Homer radio too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got Skycast, All 22, Command Center, Field Pass, Notre Dame Radio, and Ohio State Radio.
Oh,
So
no
there's
Coach Room. I did like Mystery Science Theater 3000 Coach Room.
That was fun.
I really miss the coach room. I know it's because that a lot of because nowadays this falls on top of a lot of transfer window shit, and it used to be there's the big coaches conferences. They had one right now, and right. So this fucks it up. But I really do miss coach's room. That to me was the most compelling football watching I've had in a long time. Arthur?
No, I mean the one I miss is the room where they had like non-college football people just kind of like hanging out and watching the game. Like that was the one where at one point they came back from break and like Bill Walton was telling everyone about how they should legalize marijuana. Like
R.I.P. buddy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one I missed. That one was like the first one to get the axe, and also like ESPN themselves doesn't really employ a lot of like interesting people I would want to hang out with anymore. Like the people that were doing the work, it was a lot of like I don't know, like Levitard affiliated people or just people that they no longer employ. I mean, like guys like Bomani Jones or somebody like that. So like I don't think it would work even now. But like that's the one I miss just being like, I don't know, like Katie Nolan or something, and just like people hanging out like very casual watching the national
That was
championship.
fun.
Like
Yeah.
if the McAfee broadcast wasn't incredibly annoying.
If that broadcast had people I liked on it, yes.
Well, but
How-
also like that's still pretty football focused. Like this was just like people were asking like, so like what's the deal with Clemson? Like, is it a place? Like, is it?
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
basically like you were at somebody's house watching the game, but it was also on TV.
Why
So
do I-
ESPN, if you're looking for people, will do that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll do it.
How many channels would ESPN have to have before they're like, you know what, it's time. We're calling this, like, we're way past the Ocho.
Oh yeah, no, we're on the once or doce. Like,
We're like the
Are you
Ochenta
kidding? We're
Ocho.
on the Ochenta.
ESPN 80.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I like to think ESPN would have the sense of humor to put us on. Damn it, I don't know how to say 69
The
in
Se
Spanish.
Senta y Nueve. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I can't land this joke. I don't know how to say it in Spanish.
it's okay. We'll land it. We'll help you land that one. It's
I can
fine.
say it in Japanese.
There you go.
Rokujikyu.
Why? Of course,
Nice.
there's always going to be, for some reason, folks like Tim Burke always manage to find like the Russian calls for these games too,
Yeah.
the French calls or the Japanese calls. So they're out there somewhere.
That's the good shit.
That's the real
It
good
is.
shit. I think I'm gonna go with my usual thing of watching the game on mute and then putting on one of the radio calls and maybe switching it half. Just the radio calls tend to be a little better. I tend to enjoy them more. And also, if I'm half-assed doing something else, not watching the game, the radio calls are way better about describing what's going on,
Mhm.
which is why I like
Yeah.
listening to the radio. Anyways,
I was thinking, like, how long into this game before Pit Girl and I have switched to playing the Zelda game?
Mm.
Or me on Stardew Valley. So
There you
if,
go.
if this is
We'll
if,
just all Twitch playing single player games.
if Ohio State is up by 21 and a half,
Oh God, I will have switched
Oh, I'm gone by.
before then, probably.
yeah.
I'll keep watching because like I think I'm gonna hop on the Ohio State bandwagon if they're up by that much.
Oh my god.
Ew.
Oh.
You
Big
don't like
nuts.
that? Me being an Ohio State fan is a bit for like a couple weeks.
Ew.
Do you think they call the Lazio guy Big Nut?
I think there's another thing I don't think that was the
Mhm.
that's not what he got enhanced.
Willingly.
Why is that word that word is so just haunting?
I'm just imagining like the first couple times it missed, like you got a really big thigh or something. Like
Oh my God.
I wasn't sure what it was. I was just taking pictures.
hope you don't miss high, get like a really big belly.
Didn't know what it was.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. That's our preview for the national title game, y'all.
No,
I had
have-
stuff listed on
I
the
have
notes,
more
but
stuff I
Go,
can talk
go,
about. But
I mean, you want to do more? Let's do more.
okay. I mean, I don't know
Let's
if you
do
want
it.
to do but I wanted to do like, you want to do the ad read, I guess, now, and then we
Yes,
could
yeah,
do that.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's just get that.
My story thing will take me about 35, 40 minutes.
I don't think this stuff will take too long, but I wanted to do like what we did for the season previews, like kind of do that style
do
for
that.
the
Sure.
championship game. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Folks, as always, well, first off, thank you for donating to our charity drive. Those who donated, all the stickers are already headed out and headed to you. People who have been posting them when they get them, feel free to tag us and let us see where you're putting your stickers. Those are great. Check out our link tree and our Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky profiles for various discounts. Join our Discord, join our Patreon for $5 a month. Get access to our Discord where we talk about all sorts of things, including the stuff we talked about right now.
Yeah.
Animals has also been very active lately talking about gumbo recipes and trying to get new gumbo recipes out because it is gumbo weather. So
It is gumbo weather. That's right.
that out. Merch store at sicknesscommittee.org. Our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitch. Joey was playing. I forget what he was playing, but Joey was on there again. Who knows what we're going to stream?
He played something. I can't
Yeah.
remember. NFL Blitz, I think.
Yeah, it went well.
Yeah.
Check out our Substack. We're going to be adding more and more there. We'll have some new stories and game day experiences. We have sort of like in the chamber and some other stuff on there as well. Message Board Geniuses podcast, the other places we refuse to go. And as always, the softest, comfiest collegiate apparel, home field apparel. Use offer code yes, yes, 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. They have a new Dayton and Providence basketball collection coming out. That's very good. The Dayton shirt in the light blue and red, kind of love it. Yeah.
My dad, not a fan.
Your dad's crazy, man.
I'm gonna send you the text. Like I sent it to him, and I sent the picture of the I'm a Zoom flyer, new Dayton stuff. He says, "Not for me, LOL." And I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, the full collection is coming Friday. It's like nice to get brought up on the latest fashion trends. And then in that text, he tells me that one of my aunts was having a heart procedure.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, everything's fine. And like it already happened. Like he was giving me play-by-play of it. I'm like, okay, thanks, Dad.
Hey, girl.
I'm sorry. I just got distracted by opening our own Discord and seeing that college football TikTok has already started moving to Red Note. And people are arguing with people on the Chinese internet about college football already.
Do we need to move to Red Note? Is that what we need to do now?
I think we could probably spread our agenda. I'll start learning Mandarin. It's fine.
The glorious Sickos Revolution?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think if I Photoshop Mao on the Sicko's head...
I think that's how we get
just
from
change his eyes. Just change his eyes.
To the Sicko's eyes? Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Done. Oh, okay, good. Glad to know that our cultural export is going to be just absolutely moving a clip here. Kamish, you did select some things for us to learn about each of these teams.
Yeah. Because everybody's going to do an in-depth breakdown, like position by position, and I wanted to do, they're going to talk about matchups. Like, I'm like, okay, let's do something different. And basically in the off season we had something called the Super Sicko spinning selection season preview forecast. I'm just going to change the word to playoff forecast. Can
I choose one of these that I want to do for sure?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, we can talk about all 10 or just a couple if you want. It doesn't matter for each team.
I want to rate their fight songs.
Okay. Well, I knew that would get you for sure.
Oh, for sure. And that's because Notre Dame's fight song is one of the most traditional. I feel like that is something that is just been that is something that everyone knows. I will play a little bit of it for y'all. But it is something that everyone knows. Kamish, I know it was your high school fight song.
Yeah.
Jordan, while you're pulling the clip up, I just want to take this moment to appreciate the fact that Penn State did not make the title game because their fight song makes me want to punch a baby.
Same.
Here's the Notre Dame Victory March.
Because our lyrics are changed to fit our high school, but they're basically the same. Loyal to my high school name. Cheer for my high school name.
I still hear the Tiny Toons thing to this.
I was just going to say that, Beth. This was the Tiny Toons University themes fight song as well. What was their alma mater?
Wasn't it just like standard alma? Like, wasn't it Toon name alma mater?
It was Cornell's, far above Cayuga's Waters. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Notre Dame, like the Toon name for the Notre Dame Victory March is fight song. Mm-hmm. That's how generic it is. Their Toon names are literally alma mater and fight song. Toon names are a quick way that you can look up, like, what is this melody called?
That's good that
your actual know the
school
Buckeyes
fight
song at all
has terrible SEO now because there's another song that is also just called Fight Song.
Yeah.
This is the Buckeye Battle Crying Across the Field by Ohio State.
I don't think I even know this one off the top of my head.
That one is stuck in my head forever.
Yeah.
I kind of hate to admit that I like that one. It's so jaunty.
No, it's very good. It's hard to even argue it. I have my feelings about themselves calling themselves a band, you know me.
Yeah.
But that is good.
I want to talk briefly also about their band because I accidentally went viral on Blue Sky during the Cotton Bowl or shortly after the Cotton Bowl because ESPN was interviewing Ryan Day, and in the background, Ohio State's band was playing "Fat Bottom Girls" by Queen as like a victory song.
Oh yeah,
and that shouldn't work, but it really, really does.
That's great. Yeah, I don't even know what to tell you. That's great.
I mean, you know, Ryan Day's a big fan of a big old fat fatty.
Does Ryan Day have a fat bottom?
I can't tell you that I've ever thought about Ryan Day's ass.
Fat bottom.
Is he caked up? Is he caked up? I don't even know this.
Ryan Day caked up. Jesus Christ.
AI overview is not available for this search. Well, I should hope not.
Oh, God damn. I hope not.
Refusing to AI help you here.
I mean, I feel like AI could just make him.
No, don't do it.
I have Groke. This is
that how you say it?
Groke?
Rock.
Grok?
Yeah, I don't know.
I kind of like Groke more. It
Groke.
sounds like
Here's the thing, though.
Like it sounds like Groke.
I read the Heinlein book before I ever heard the word. I think I just have it Groke in my head. It's the word's originally from Stranger in a Strange World. Stranger in a Strange Land. That one. And I think I just had it as Groke in my head a long time ago. So that's me. I'm going to say the Ohio State fight song is better than the Victory March just because it is jauntier.
It is jauntier.
But the Notre Dame fight song is one of like 3 fight songs that exists. Like Tiny Toons Adventures was cribbing off of it.
Yeah, I mean,
tell you.
the fight songs that exist are Notre Dame, Michigan, and
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I was trying to think of the name of the pop singer that has the song Fight Song.
I don't even know her name.
Rachel.
She was just on. She sang the national anthem last night at the LA game.
Oh,
I looked her up, and she has passed out of my consciousness in the span between there and now.
Yeah.
Rachel Platten.
Sure.
Look, I know it again. I'm about to not know it again, and it's gone.
I don't know why I got it confused with the song Love Song. I was like, I'm not gonna write you a fight song.
This is my love song. I bite a dove song.
Would you move to another question? Would you move to Columbus or South Bend if you found employment there? Which would you prefer to?
Columbus because it's closer.
Columbus has more things, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have the Blue Jackets. I'll give you that. I could get really into hockey, even though that franchise is not doing too great.
I always forget the Blue Jackets exist, but yeah, given the choice between the two of those,
they have MLS too.
Yeah, gonna have to take Columbus because South Bend is like
how close is South Bend to Chicago?
Pretty close.
Okay, I mean that's.
But you have to live in Indiana.
Here is your reminder that Columbus is the 14th largest city in the United States. It is bigger than Seattle, Denver, and Oklahoma City and Nashville.
Fuck? Yeah, but it's in Ohio.
Yeah, sneaky big is Columbus.
But it's in Ohio.
Well, and that's also because the like land area of the city is pretty big.
I just
So
don't.
where are Cleveland and Cincinnati then?
Oh, they're
So
way they're way
Cincinnati's
down.
further south.
Columbus is bigger. Is the biggest city in Ohio?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
the
Oh, yeah.
biggest city in Ohio in terms of like the physical
Land area.
city limits. If you
Yeah.
look at like the metro area, like the Cleveland metro area is big.
Cleveland's bigger, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and that makes sense
Population
also
wise.
because like part of the Cincinnati metro is in Kentucky.
The
Oh,
other,
yeah. Yep.
yeah. And the other thing to know about Cleveland is Cleveland sort of like everything that just sort of gets smashed up against the lake for a decent distance up there is the Cleveland metro area.
Yeah.
Okay, those are all good. I think I would agree with you guys there. Let's look at their rosters a little bit, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we
absolutely.
can we find the heaviest players on their team?
Oh, I haven't
I'm
done
not
this
gonna
search in
say-
a while.
I'm not going to say non-OT or non-DT. I just want to find the biggest boys.
The biggest boy. Okay. Can we sort by that?
Sometimes you can.
We're sure about to find out, aren't we?
Oh, wait. There is on Ohio State.
Oh, I
Can I go
can
the
too.
other way?
I got a 330 on Notre Dame.
All right.
6'5", 330 offensive lineman, Chris Tarek.
I'm still scrolling on
Yes.
Got 328, 325. Got some big boys on here. Sorry, that 330, he's a sophomore/freshman. That's impressive. My lord.
okay, I'm still scrolling on Ohio State.
The lightest guy on the team is Xavier
All right.
Southall, 6'1", 178, who is a wide receiver.
I have a defensive tackle, a senior, Tyleek Williams, 327 for Ohio State.
Okay.
6'3", 327.
Ooh. Who's the shortest guy? There is a 5'7" dude. Their long snapper is 5'7".
Hell yeah. Tell me more about this long snapper.
Reno Monteforte.
Yeah, you got it. Reno.
And he looks like this.
I mean, we're going to have to throw that in the chat.
Yeah, Reno, have you considered applying to be the leprechaun?
The shortest person on Ohio State's team is their kicker, Austin Snyder. He's 5'7".
I can't imagine I know that long snappers don't typically get pushed around too much, but still,
No.
there's just been being a kicker and being a long snapper and having to line up
Yeah.
across from like a real big dude.
I'm showing that Ohio State has a tie for heaviest dude.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I got two folks at 327.
Who's the other
Yeah,
guy?
Tyleek.
And Tegra Chabola.
Yes.
Yeah, both
Yeah.
of them.
327.
Who is their punter? Who's Ohio State's punter?
I don't know, but let's find out. Position. I don't like this website, Ohio State.
No. I have 4 punters on the roster. I'm trying to figure out which one is.
Find the Aussie. Find the real.
Joe McGuire. He's a sophomore out of Melbourne.
Okay.
He looks like he's in his early 30s.
Is he? Does it say?
Yeah, that's James Rindell that Pick Girl's showing you right there. He's from Melbourne as well. He's a big dude. Talk about how big he is, please, Pick Girl.
He is 6'6", 224.
Yeah, he is.
And he looks like he walked off the set of Peaky Blinders about 5 minutes ago.
Just the punter to beat. Oh my God, he's gonna kill him.
So
I love it when punters have a really good shot at absolutely destroying you.
Joe McGuire, I'll give you a picture. I don't know if he's a starting punter or not, and I don't care because he made headlines in his hometown in February of 2022 when he had a hat trick with his final 3 deliveries as he played for the Heather Hill Cricket Club, finishing with figures of 5 wickets for just 10 runs.
Yeah, sure. Those are words.
That's numbers.
Every time people talk about cricket, my brain just
That's
can't make
not-
it work.
That is not, cricket is not something the American brain is capable of comprehending, except for that one time when the cricket team was here, the cricket tournament was here, and the American team was good.
Then it was fine.
I'm
Yeah.
so grateful to cricket because I know that no matter how many times someone has to explain cricket to me, someone else will have to explain cricket to me, and then it will all be new again.
Goldfish brain. It's
Mhm.
eternal in the skills committee. Every time someone shows me that position chart for cricket, the one that has like all 50, but they don't play them all, but they have names for all the positions. Like, oh, I'm the slippery whip. Oh, I'm the half turn corkscrew. I'm the right leg flubber nutter. I don't know. Look, man, those could all be real. You have no fucking clue.
They probably are because like the English invented this sport. So,
Let's see here. Any good facial hair on Ohio State's team as you're looking through the roster?
I gotta
Gotta
do
get back
the block view.
to grid view. Here we go.
Oh yeah, I was trying to do that.
Notre Dame's website's way better.
Yeah, Ohio State's website. Your roster site sucks. Sorry, I don't like it.
I'm not seeing any great facial hair for Notre Dame.
No.
That doesn't surprise me though. It feels like a clean cut team.
I got a solid mustache down
Marcus
here.
Freeman has a really nice beard. We can count him.
Tight end Patrick Gerd with a very good mustache.
Draw the pictures.
Of course, I also can't copy a picture from your terrible website.
Yeah, just take a screenshot.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you got to do here.
There you go. There's his mustache.
Yeah, it's got to be Martin Freeman. Jesus Christ, Marcus Freeman. Martin Freeman, very different person. Where's their strength coach? Maybe they have a good strength coach. Do they not list the strength coach? Come on. They do. It's maybe the director of football performance.
That sounds right.
Okay. Yeah. No, he's just an old dude. Lauren Landau. No.
Wait, that's where Joe Rudolph ended up? Huh.
We learn new things.
Yeah.
I think I got to go with best facial hair for Ohio State is G. Scott Jr., tight end. I think it's like the combo of everything, number 88.
Okay.
It's just like got the perfectly lined up beard. There's the scraggly offensive lineman beard.
Okay. Yeah, I just
Josh
saw him.
Pryor, number 70. But number 88, I got to give it to G. Scott Jr. I think that's probably like the best I got here. And then I don't know why all the numbers are all weird, out of line for me.
I just posted
I don't know.
in the chat.
Oh my God, Reese Stockdale.
Okay, I like that.
Okay, number 87. I'm just gonna post Reese Stockdale in the chat. Because it caught me off guard.
Oh, a ginger beard. Okay.
It threw me off a little bit. I keep scrolling. I'm like, am I done? I can't tell Ohio State's website. If the game goes how the website is, Notre Dame's website is killing Ohio State right now.
I think, y'all, that is a good preview for our national championship game.
I feel prepared.
Yeah,
and go Ohio State.
Well, I mean, what do we need to do? Like after the game, we got to figure out what the closest fast food restaurant is to the stadium. To each one of them, right?
Let's see.
Okay.
I'll look Notre Dame's.
Okay.
Let's see here. Looks like we got a Dacio Cafe. Let's see here. There's a School of Business. The problem is it's on campus, so we're not getting like tons of stuff right nearby.
See, Ohio Stadium.
Looks like there's a juice place inside the sports medicine building at Ohio Stadium.
Okay.
There's there's a Dave's Hot Chicken down the road and like a Five Guys. Okay. Dave's Hot Chicken would be a good post-game snack.
Dave's Hot Chicken. I had the Nashville Hot like Whataburger wings.
Mm-hmm. How are they?
They were good, man. It was very solid. Very good cayenne flavor. But it's like the cayenne flavor that, you eat like one or two and you're fine. But then you get to like 3 and the flavor starts to build.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh, like number 4, you're like, oh my God, here we go. And you start doing the reflexive, like, woo. It was good stuff, though.
Pit Girl, did you scroll down far enough to see Bistro H?
I did not.
What is Bistro H?
It is
Oh, it's a
Bistro
pun.
and then OH.
Oh,
Okay.
my God.
That's awful.
I like it. I wouldn't go
Okay.
there, but I like it.
Man, if they win, Big Nut's going to be way too happy.
Hell yeah, let's go. I'm
like-
excited for this.
I don't like Big Nut being happy.
I think it's gonna be great.
I wonder to get the lowest. I want to look at some reviews here. Okay.
Commissioner,
that
are you looking for reviews for?
Oh, the Ohio State Stadium. Ohio Stadium. I'm
I
just
was
checking
looking
that
up
out.
reviews for Bistro H.
That's so I hate that so much.
It can't possibly be good.
So this review came in from 3 weeks ago. I have a feeling that it's from a Tennessee fan because of this comment here. 1 star, Ohio Stadium. Bathroom and concessions were pitiful, worse than any other SEC stadium. Pitiful, just pitiful. I have a feeling he maybe a Tennessee fan.
I can't imagine it being worse than like Vanderbilt Stadium.
I'm
They're rebuilding that stadium.
Yeah, but still, Vanderbilt Stadium has traditionally been like the awfulest of the awful.
I'm looking at 1-star reviews for Notre Dame Stadium right now.
Okay.
The top one is about handicap accessibility for a concert. Would you care to guess who the artist playing Notre Dame Stadium was?
Was it Billy Joel?
It was
Morgan
not.
Wallet.
No.
Okay. Garth Brooks.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
Garth Brooks in South Bend. The second one, and I'm gonna react to this one because it's very good. 1 month ago, we lost to NIU, 1 star, but it's okay. We're in the playoffs now.
I got one more Ohio
Well,
Stadium
wait,
rating.
I got a quick
Oh,
question
can
first
I go?
about
Go ahead.
that Garth Brooks concert. When was that concert? Do you know, like from the review? Does it say?
2 years ago.
Okay, so that would have been after Brian Kelly called Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
There's another one about how they won't let the Purdue drum in the stadium.
I mean, yeah, I would
yeah.
knock the star down a peg.
Yeah. Ohio Stadium rating, my final
Why
one
are
here.
all 1-star reviews except for the one about Purdue about the Garth Brooks concert?
Man,
they're not used to it.
amazing. So speaking of a concert in Ohio Stadium, 1-star review. The concert was great, but I am a University of Michigan fan, hence my rating. Laugh out loud.
Love it.
Just hating on the stadium's rating.
There's a rating. There's a rating from 3 weeks ago that just says not as good as Neyland. Go Vols.
Go ball. They're rating the stadium.
So
They're
good.
mad. It's like, I'm gonna rate your stadium bad.
I like that Michigan fans are like proper enough that they sign their reviews at the end, so you know it was a Michigan fan.
Versus Go Vols.
Yeah.
I have a very confusing 1-star rating for the shoe.
Okay.
Atmosphere is just as the shape indicates.
It open-ended, empty. I don't.
You.
Half.
You?
Yeah. I don't even know what that means.
I
What does
don't know
that
what
mean?
that means.
This
Nobody
is from
does. It gets the people going.
It's provocative.
C. Berryman. If you are listening to our podcast right now, please get at us and explain. We're very confused.
Read it again.
Atmosphere is just as the shape indicates.
Is it like something that he's like trying to get me to look inward? The atmosphere is in you.
That's good.
The you was inside you all along.
All along. That's right. You're lucky. You have a horseshoe up your ass. I don't know.
So,
No idea.
folks, as we get into the off season, what you'll find is that we spend time on this podcast talking about interesting stories we don't have time for during this season. And the story I want to tell tonight is a story that came up during this season. We found it in September because TX, Texas High School Football Life, started posting graphics of the weirdest teams that college football teams have played. And for Western Kentucky, the graphic just said Russia, 1992. And I had no clue what this was. So I did a little digging. And I did a little more digging for this. First off, I would like my fellow podcasters to notice this slideshow is done on official Western Kentucky slides. This is suggested by the university, and it just is a picture of Big Red pointing at the screen saying, "Climb with us."
I like this deck style a lot. Good job, Western Kentucky.
Big Red is not asking.
Hey, Pick Girl, is Big Red on every slide I have?
Yes.
Of course he's on every fucking slide I have. Is that because the deck is set up like that? You're damn right it is.
Hell yeah.
Follow the branding guide, Jordan.
is he pointing in every slide, or does he do other things?
No, it's just
He's
this.
only
This is
pointing.
Oh my
great.
god.
God, I love this.
It's
We're
the
gonna
most-
release this PowerPoint just on the Patreon. Like
I will.
just throw it there.
God, this is beautiful.
I want to talk to you about the 1992 Western Kentucky Hilltoppers versus the Moscow Czars.
Yeah.
Were there czars in 1992 in Russia? No.
I don't
Had there
I don't
been
know.
czars for like 70 years at that point in Russia? No. I would also like to point out this Western Kentucky school newspaper comic that shows a Western Kentucky football player facing off against a Moscow czar. And the text is, "What do you say, comrade? 2 bottles of vodka for 2 capitalist touchdowns. A deal ski?" I have no clue what any of that means.
None
It
of
just-
these words are in the Bible.
No. So let's talk about where Western Kentucky
Wait,
football.
no. Go back. Look at the stands. What is in the stands? Explain it to me.
It's a dude holding a sign that says John 3:16.
Yes.
Those
don't
words are in the Bible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are. But I
Is
don't
it
know what to do. with
Rainbow Wing guy? Was he like big in 92, I guess?
And I think that's Big Red off to the right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Over to the
maybe.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
It's baffling. Join the Patreon.
I am basing this off of an article in the WKU Herald called An Oral History of WKU Football, hosting a Russian semi-pro team for a highly unusual week filled with unforeseen hijinks. This is by Drake Kaiser and Matt Stahl. Matt Stahl follows us and is a big fan of us, by the way. He now writes for AL.com, I believe, and got his first writing job out of college based on this article.
Oh,
So a lot of this is from that article. That article collects a bunch of other quotes and with some new interviews and mixes them together. So I'll post the link to this article. You should definitely go read it because I'm going to be skimming the very surface here. WK football in 1992. The coach, one Jack Harbaugh, in his 4th season.
That's right. The original Harbaugh.
So Jack has 3 kids. John,
Mm-hmm.
Jim,
And
And-
Cooper.
And Cooper
and-
Harbaugh.
and Joani? Joni?
Juani.
He's the
Juani?
one married to Tom Crean.
Joaquin. No, wait, no.
At this point, WKU football is down bad. They are coming off of they're a Division 1, 2A, now FCS, we call that independent. They've just had a 2-8 and a 3-8 season. And WKU football was basically ready to be cut in April of 1992. The state government said the university has to cut $6.1 million. And the program survived, but they had to cut their whole budget to $450,000.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
nobody.
Even
Nobody.
in 92, that's real rough. And part of the problem was, as an independent, scheduling becomes kind of a pain because you're having to sort of cobble this together. And they needed a way to get people into the stands.
I love the Big Red so much because it's like an exclamation point at the end of every stand. Like Big Red is like, you have to cut the budget.
It's like
Only you can make necessary budget cuts to Western Kentucky football.
it's like with 6.1 million in cuts demanded by the state government.
I took it more like Big Red is the Sim City. Like, you cannot cut Big Red's
You
funding.
will regret this, yes.
Yes.
Fucking transport
He's
guy every
giving
time.
you the death promise. That's why he's pointing at you.
You can also see up there Jack Harbaugh and their AD behind a sign that says "Save WKU football." Dial 1-800-5-BIG-RED.
It's not even. Why couldn't it be 4 Big Red?
Does that number still work?
Only
Dial it,
one way to find out.
Okay, I'm calling right now.
Hold up, you got it. Someone
Okay,
got a phone
call
nearby?
Yeah, I have my phone right next to me. Because I sometimes have to post during the podcast.
Put it on
Right?
speaker. Put it on speaker.
All right. So 5, and then I gotta spell out letters. This is great.
Oh yeah.
That's big. And then red.
Back to the
Uh-huh.
T9 days we go.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
So it would be 1-800-524-4733.
I'm gonna guess your call can no longer be completed as dialed.
Thank you for calling the WKU ticket office.
Oh my god!
Holy crap!
Please press 1.
Oh my
to be
God, it
connected
still
to the
works.
WKU ticket office. Press
Holy
2 to be
shit.
connected to the Hilltopper Athletic
This
Foundation.
is still the phone number. I gotta hang up.
Wow. Okay. That's still the phone number.
1-800-5-BIG-RED.
I was gonna say
But
now I don't know that we should leave the phone number because
Big Red 5
giving out a real number.
I mean, I don't know. Call the
It's
call
the
the Western
ticket office.
Kentucky ticket office,
Get
folks.
tickets from Big Red. We're helping. This is we're selling stuff. We just gave you the number. Get season tickets to Big Red.
So for the 92 season, they had to make a schedule and they had to fill 2 open holes on the schedule. Much like a canoe in Chile.
God damn.
Oh my god!
And
If your canoe has 2 holes,
you're going down.
you are.
Okay,
We will-
no.
We'll get back to this person, but Eldon Cunningham is the coach of the Russian Tsars. We'll talk about him later. He's a main character in this story. He claims that he was looking up on the NCAA website in 92 and saw teams looking for games, so he contacted Coach Harbaugh.
Wayback Machine.
Right. The Russian Tsars were a team of Russian athletes who were doing a U.S. football tour in the United States. There had been a previous Russian tour of the Moscow Bears, but they had a problem because when they went to upstate New York, 14 of them defected to Canada. So this had a little more security. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Difficult to defect
Well-
to Canada and Western Kentucky. Yes.
It is tough to do that in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yes, you got a little bit longer to go than instead of upstate New York.
So let's talk about the Russian Tsars. They limped into Bowling Green, fresh off a 35-0 defeat at the hands of Team USA, a U.S. Football Federation squad of semi-pros and amateurs in Chicago one day before. The Tsars were 3-3 after playing their first 6 games on the road, picking up wins over the Belgian national team, Sweden, and Norway by a combined 131-6 margin.
The Belgian national football team.
Uh-huh.
It's just
The
very
Belgian
funny.
national American football team.
Well, right.
Are we sure about that?
Might not have been.
Were they known
It's
as
so-
the Waffles?
There
They are
we go.
now.
Yeah, okay.
Or the Frites. They played basically
The Swedish fish lost.
their U.S. opener 2
Hey,
days.
Belgium, run the triple.
Run the triple Belgium.
Ooh, I like that.
The triple, yes.
The Russian players stayed in the WKU dorms,
Oh,
and they
Okay.
brought a fuck ton of vodka, old Soviet army gear, and how do I say this, Beth? Matryoshka
Matryoshka
dolls?
Matryoshka dolls.
Matryoshka dolls, thank you. Which are the little like dolls and dolls and dolls things.
Nesting dolls.
Nesting
Yeah.
doll,
Yeah.
yes.
They had
Can we
a
get a nesting Big Red? I want a nesting Big
Oh
Red
my
doll.
God.
I'm gonna call the ticket office back.
Please do.
Yeah, and it's the seam is his mouth. Like
Okay,
they separate, you lift his head
you
off,
lift his head.
and
yeah,
then there's
okay.
another big red, and then you lift his head off, and then there's another big red.
No, I don't want a backpack. I told you what I wanted.
I want Russian nesting big red.
So they were there for like a week, and they did things like a campus tour, a tour of the Corvette plant, a tour of Mammoth Cave National Park, an Alan Jackson concert, a trip to the Greenwood Mall, and a 10K road race.
Wait, what was Alan Jackson making music in '92? Did Chattahoochee come out yet?
That might have been before Chat. No, let's see here.
Yeah, Chattahoochee was like mid '90s, I think.
Okay.
No, Chattahoochee was '92.
Okay, so he was busting out Chat. So they got to
Oh
hear
my
Chattahoochee.
Oh my God, the Russians were learning a lot about living and a little about love.
Wikipedia says released May 1993,
Oh,
but he could have
Okay.
been playing it live prior to it being released.
okay.
In our private chat, I just put a company that makes custom Russian nesting dolls,
Ooh,
and they're not very expensive.
ooh.
Midnight
So,
in Montgomery.
Some
Okay,
quotes
all
from the players who were hanging out with them. Quote, this is from a guy named Quisenberry. They like to party and have a good time. The thing was, if you toasted to your family or whatever like that, they continued to toast in enjoyment until you ran out of people to talk about.
I did. Beth, did you click the link for the custom Russian nesting dolls?
What do you mean? Like the link I just sent you?
Yeah, did you look at the splash photo
Oh, I'm on that page right now.
for golden cockerel custom
Yes.
Russian nesting dolls
Yes.
featuring
You gotta put that in the chat.
these
Like
people's
the main chat.
families. Why would you do this?
Listen, this is what the money is for.
This is, I mean, you join the Patreon, you get the background as it's going on, and then you listen 2 days later.
You
to
get
clear
to
up the
see the
confusion.
most concerning Russian nesting dolls I have ever seen in my life.
Were you expecting me to find like a normal place?
I mean, no, but I can't.
Did you see
say-
Jackie Chan?
Like I thought,
Jackie Chan is on the
I
page.
thought that the custom ones would be at least like this is one person's face. No. We've got like family photos smunched onto Russian nesting dolls.
I mean, honestly, like the Jackie Chan one looks pretty good.
Really?
I mean, you know.
Really? That does
You're
not
re-
look like Jackie Chan.
I'm surprised you're not excited about the bride and groom conjoined twins Matryoshka dolls.
Hold up, I lost my window.
The Jackie Chan one is funny, at least.
Found
It is. It's good.
To be clear, listener, this is Jackie Chan at many ages, going back to the smallest one, which is Jackie Chan as a baby.
Baby Chan.
Yeah, I see. I was picturing the one at the top. I was picturing something more like custom hobby Matryoshka, where we have the same guy holding a fish in various sizes.
Yep. The best part, though, is the picture right below the Jackie Chan nesting doll, which is of the person who ordered this doll, giving it to Jackie Chan.
Oh my! Wait, okay. There's a Death of Stalin, like the
Yes.
movie.
Like there is some very like okay,
also a MAGA, also a like
Joe Biden one. Yeah, it just
I found a good website. You're welcome.
okay. You're welcome. Enjoy.
So the guy Mark Quisenberry, who I quoted, he was the student manager. There's also
Okay.
another cute little story here about him. He got one of those like furry Russian hats from one of the players, and then he went into Harbaugh's office with this for a meeting. And I want to quote Harbaugh talking about someone coming in with like a hammer and sickle fuzzy Russian hat. About Tuesday or Wednesday, Mark came into the office and he was wearing one of the hats like the one George Costanza wore on Seinfeld. He had the high square fur hat that he had procured. He came in and I said, "Where the hell did you get that?" He said, "I bought it. They sold it to me." I said, "Get that thing off your head for crying out loud." Mark wore that hat for the next couple of years. Can you just imagine like red-blooded Jack Harbaugh seeing someone come in with a commie hat in 92?
The year after.
Like, abso-fucking-lutely not.
Yeltsin still has that somewhat new Yeltsin smell.
Smeltson.
Okay, so we need to talk about Eldon Cunningham, the Russians' coach. He does have some bona fides. He's a former McNeese State quarterback.
Okay.
Oh god.
We find out later
that's a bad thing.
If we find out later he had defected to Russia.
Okay, yeah, escaping Louisiana crime at some point. What did he do?
Well, we'll get there.
Oh,
Coach,
God.
We'll get there.
Louisiana and Texas. He got 2 states.
I
Oh,
don't
God.
know how many
Okay.
former NCAA quarterbacks have defected to Russia because it's not one.
He coached the Moscow Bears to the first ever Russian Super Bowl.
Okay.
And apparently he was kind of a compulsive liar. He claimed to Jack Harbaugh and other coaches that his ex-wife was the daughter of the former governor of Louisiana, amongst other things.
Oh, he's like Russian Terry Bradshaw. Cool.
Yeah. So this is their coach
Perfect.
as they roll in.
Okay.
The players. Quote, "My recollection is that there were wrestlers on the Russian team. I remember seeing a handful of them with cauliflower ear. We had talked about it in my profession in athletic training for all these years, but we didn't have wrestling at Western, so I'd never seen anybody really with it. It was all in our textbooks, and we talked to them about it, and we had to learn about it, but several of these guys had it. That's where they get their ears rubbed so much from wrestling and all of that, it bleeds up there and feels part of the cartilage there between the skin and the cartilage. It bulges out and looks really awful." What the fuck? Cauliflower ear. That's wild shit to see in 92. And
They're
then,
wrestlers. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I associate
you
with
you
that.
wouldn't have the internet. You wouldn't know this.
Yeah.
well, they had the textbooks, but here's the better
Yeah.
one. I remember they had a guy they called their doctor that was with them. And I don't know if he was a doctor or more like an athletic trainer like myself, but I think he was a doctor. I know that the center of their team, the guy was from the United States, was talking about how they injected some of their injuries and he wouldn't let it do it to him because he wasn't sure what they were using. They had a little training kit, and I didn't have much in the way in it, training kit wise. I remember us giving the Czar's team doctor a pair of scissors, anyways. We donated a pair of scissors to the cause, but everything was pretty primitive with what they were doing. So
I
they're
want to
just
clarify from this also, it's not that he wasn't sure what was being injected. It was that he wasn't sure if they were recycling needles.
Yep.
Oh
So that
boy.
good times. Good times. Here's the roster. This is the roster from the actual program. You'll notice next to a lot of these players, guys, it says things like Olympic silver medalist, member All European Football League, all these things. None of these can be confirmed. Like the guy that claims to have won the silver medal in the 88 Olympics, the 100 meters, I think Carl Lewis has that medal.
You
So I
are
don't
you are talking about Russian Olympic participation in the 80s. That
Yeah,
means
all of
something
this is-
very specific.
Yeah. There were Americans on the team. I do like that the quarterback, Yuri Bolden, also javelin thrower.
They're the same.
I mean, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing. You can see how that went, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm
Pointy thing.
imagining passing.
You have a
The javelin pass.
They had a 145-pound wide receiver. I'm just going to say that.
Dress off.
Igor.
So none of these can actually be confirmed. Whether they like most of these are unconfirmable. Also, a
That's
former
not the word real
WWF
names
wrestler.
either.
I gotta check that. No, these are
I'm looking at him right now.
I love
His wrestler name is Draws.
also that the roster is like Russian guy, Russian guy, Russian guy, Russian guy. Number 68, Eric Johnson, American, native of Houston. Eric Johnson, if you're listening, I want to talk to you about this.
How did you end up here?
How are you here? Do you speak Russian?
The Russian czars, while they're there, they go on a strike. Because apparently they're sponsored by like Frito-Lay and all these big companies, but they're only eating fast food. And they are done with it by Wednesday.
Think about how happy they would have been if they had won the 2016 national championship.
Oh, I know. Just all the Wendy's you'd eat.
So much Burger King, so much McDonald's, all at the White House for you.
They definitely got paid to play several times over. This was the team was actually funded by some dude out in Las Vegas. And these players definitely got paid to play. There were several times when they asked the Russian players to like come talk to a local school that week, and they were like, "Not if we don't get paid." So that feels correct. I don't blame them, especially for as janked up as that shit was. At this point, though, they decide they're going to have an international practice to get everyone on the field, to get everyone interested to maybe save WKU football.
Some people hold a bake sale.
These guys, they brought in the doctor and all his friends.
We're gonna save the theater, guys.
We're gonna have a dance party to save the rec center. So the practice. This is Thursday before the game. ABC stations got the cameras out. Local news is there. Sheriff's car shows up. Goes over to Coach Cunningham of the Russian Tsars. Go, are you Coach Cunningham? He's getting ready to do like an interview. Like, oh, this is like ABC. Well, you're under arrest, Mr. Cunningham. And his response was, how did you find me?
Oh my God.
The things you definitely say. And Big Red's looking at you going, I'm arresting you.
I'm imagining Big Red standing here watching.
Big Red just mouth agape.
Just like
No,
mouth
but-
agape.
Oh, you're
like
under arrest,
waving his-
Mr. Cunningham.
waving his belly around.
Big Red's undercover. Big Red's been there the whole
Big
time.
Red was wearing a wire.
The best slide deck theme ever.
He opens his mouth and there's a wire coming out of it. It's taped on.
He opens his mouth.
No,
and
he
the
opens his
top
mouth
pops
and
up.
literally pulls out an FBI agent.
You're under arrest.
Just extrudes it like he's a Mary Poppins bag.
Big Red nesting doll. There it is.
Did Coach Harbaugh let his players come and gawk? Fuck no, they kept practicing.
You're at work, kids.
Yeah, showed no emotion, just kept going. The Russian kids apparently were not quite that phased either because they were just used to things like this happening. The quarterback was like, this kinds of thing happened. It's fine.
Oh my god, how did I know this dude was gonna get arrested?
We lost
It's like,
our
okay,
coach to American KGB.
Not
This
so
is
like-
secret
he
police.
defected from Louisiana. I'm like, yeah, all right, man. Something's
So this
going
is
down.
Thursday. The game's on Saturday night. This is
Oh,
Thursday.
God.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, the
The
game.
headline is my favorite. Coach turns out to be the zone of deadbeat dads. Turns out he owed over $35K in child support payments to at least 2 spouses.
And 90s? My
One-
God.
He defected to Russia so he wouldn't have to pay
So
child
fucking-
support.
My God.
What a reason to defect.
And I will say that Matt Stahl, who wrote this
About
article,
80 grand now.
he did an actual interview with Eldon Cunningham for
Oh,
this.
God.
So this is all firsthand.
Oh, Jesus.
Turns out Eldon Cunningham had also misrepresented his sports bona fides many times over.
Of course.
So there's no coach. He's in the lockup in Louisiana or in Texas jail at this point. Or sorry, no, they took him to local jail first. They were trying to extradite him to Louisiana or Texas. Yeah. So what now? They didn't have an assistant coach. So what did they do? Coach Harbaugh found 2 guys, Lee Murray and Butch Gilbert. They were former assistants at WKU to the previous coach before Harbaugh. And he asked them to be the coach of the Czars. The kids already knew I say kids, a lot of these people were in their like mid to late 20s. They knew the plays already, so they didn't really need a playbook. They just need someone to sort of cheer them on. Problem is, none of them spoke Russian, like the coaches did, so they had to bring an interpreter too. Okay. Game day.
Where did they find a Russian interpreter in Kentucky in 2 days' notice?
They have a Russian
It's a
department.
university. I assume
Okay,
that they
it's a
have
university,
a,
like-
you got a Russian
Yeah,
descent.
okay.
90s, especially in
All
the
right.
90s. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay. So here we go. On October 17th, 1992, the game time finally arrived. Kickoff was set for 7 p.m. on a calm, mostly cloudy night with temperatures hovering around 50 degrees. McGrath said he still remembers his first time striking a player that was likely 5 to 10 years older than him. Unfortunately for the Czars, their football skills were not equal to their athleticism. I remember blitzing off the edge of the first play of the game. They ran a toss sweep and I met the fullback in the backfield and we had a huge collision. I thought, wow, this could be a tough game. I later found out the guy I was battling with was allegedly the 110-meter silver sprint medalist from the 88 Olympics.
The square brackets allegedly here.
Allegedly.
Basically, they had a bunch of big dudes, like athletes. In fact, earlier in the week, Harbaugh thought they were going to lose this game because the guys were just so athletic, but they were not football IQ. So had this talent, not the football skill. From the student manager again, Mark Quisenberry. They were wearing down. We just continued to run the ball. Didn't throw it very much. Of course, back then with Coach Harbaugh and the flex bone offense we ran, if you threw it five times a game, that was like the equivalent of probably throwing it 25 to 30 nowadays. Because his idea of the pass was to run the ball on the edge and see if you could catch him. Because we had some really, really quick quarterbacks and they were good athletes. Yeah, that feels correct. I do want to talk about the most coach brain thing I've seen in a long time, though. Okay. So it's 38-0 in the second quarter. Western Kentucky's up. And then a Russian player listed as Zwinza, likely number 22, Edward Zwinzia, a 6'2" 225-pound running back for the Czars, was able to mount a memorable response for his squad when the game clock read 6:55 in the second period of action. Coach Harbaugh says, there's an interesting play that took place in the first half. We kicked the ball to them, and this guy, number 22, he gets the ball on about the 15-yard line. I can remember it today like it happened yesterday. He caught the ball on the 15-yard line. He came down our sideline. I've never seen a man run so fast my entire life. Whoosh. He went right by our sideline. Oh, my goodness, and scored. I mean, he took it 85 yards for a touchdown. Coach Harbaugh likes to tell that on our special teams coordinator. He let the Russians' exhibition team run a kickoff back against us, so that didn't go over so well. Now, here's the Harbaugh football brain coach. Our kickoff coverage team had not been very good all year. We gave up a lot of big runs, returns on kickoffs, and it just wasn't good. As I watched him go for the touchdown, as a coach, I said, give me the phone. I took the phone. I said, get me that coach that's in charge of the kickoff return. Put him on the phone. The person on the other end said, he's right here, coach. The special teams coach got on the phone, and I said to him, listen, I know going into this game, we were going to be the worst kickoff coverage team in the United States of America. Now listen to me. I knew we were the worst, but you have just taken our kickoff return team international. We are now the worst team internationally in the kickoff returns.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Having a Harbaugh involved in this is oh my God.
I'd like to report a murder.
It's so
like super
real.
Harbaugh.
It's so real, right? Like exactly what it sounded like.
I would just like to respect number 22, Edward Spicena, for seizing the means of touchdown production.
This is also the text of Harbaugh. Like, this is the current generation of Harbaughs. It's diluted. It was like the seed was diluted into multiple people. Nope, it's all in the same package here.
Mm-hmm.
Maximal Harbaugh.
I mean, at this point, like, Jim's still playing football. I think at this point, yeah, I think he's at the end of his career. But like, they were consultants at Western Kentucky for a long time, like unpaid consultants. So for sure, Jim was around here and Jack was around here. They saw this. They knew about this. They were talking about Joni. I still can't say that's her name or not. She was
Jim was still playing.
Jim was, but apparently Jack's daughter was one of the elementary school teachers. Like they tried to go get the Russian guys to like come and talk to their school. They were like, nope, not without getting paid. So this goes all the way in. Like, so these Harbaughs remember this moment. I guarantee it. Okay, so that happens. Ends up being a running clock in the second half, and Western Kentucky basically ran the ball. Harbaugh calls off his dogs, puts into the second and third string. And all the sources I found talk about how athletic the Russians were, but they just didn't have the conditioning. Like, they could play for their practice was 30 minutes and then smoke a cigarette. So
what about the part where the Russian guys punted it off their own butt?
But
I didn't get that one. Did I miss it? Hold on.
Oh yeah, it was in the story.
Ooh, butt punt.
That's when he knew that they had a chance, is when the punt protector backed up too far and the punter took too many steps.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Here we go. One play I remember is they were punting from like their 15-yard line, and they snapped the ball back to the punter, and he took an extra step. A step, and he took like a third step and a half. Well, the personal protector had backed up to protect, and he backed right into the kicker, and he kicked him right in the back, the lower part of his back, and the ball just dropped. I can't remember whether it dropped in the end zone for a touchdown, but it was an easy score. When they blocked their own punt, I said, well, maybe we have a chance here. Yep, there we go. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Perfect.
The aftermath. Western Kentucky wins this game 45-14. Only 3,495 people show up to this game, which is wild to me. That stadium seats at the time 17,000.
Yeah, and it was only one half of the stadium. Like that stadium that they had, I think it was just called Smith Stadium, and it was only like one half of the stands. The other half was just like field.
But this game gets mentioned everywhere, including during the halftime of the number 13 Tennessee versus number 4 Alabama game earlier in the day. That's amazing. Like little old Western Kentucky gets mentioned with the big kids. I do want to tell you how this story ends, because Coach Harbaugh is prepping for homecoming against Central Florida, and then the phone rang. To quote Harbaugh, quote, Sunday morning, I'm sitting in the office looking at the film and just reminiscing about the whole week, and the phone rings, and it's Eldon on the phone. He goes, Coach, I guess our guys played pretty well, huh? I said, well, I think it ended up like 45-14, and we played every guy on our team, and we had a running clock in the second half. But you scored 2 touchdowns, the kickoff return, and you got the last touchdown of the game. You guys really played hard, and you had some great athletes, he said. I'm really happy about that. Do you think you could send the film down to Warren County Correctional Institution? I go, I can send down the film, but I really don't have a projector we can get to you so you can watch the film. This is a stupid, stupid sport.
Is this film available for public consumption?
So
man, is like this game broadcast?
Can
like,
we watch this?
Okay. Do you want to have the answer? It
Yes.
exists.
It exists.
Yeah, I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay.
Oh God, yeah.
It's on YouTube.
Yes.
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 It's
Into my veins.
so I'll
Jeez,
drop it.
kick return.
I love
Drop
the
it.
off season.
I don't know. I didn't have a chance to go through all the film, so I don't
Okay.
know if they have all that in there. There's
Okay.
two videos. One's listed as offense, one's listed as defense, and I'm not sure which is which. Like
I just
Like,
want to
even-
see the butt punt.
If
Please,
it's there,
hopefully
yeah,
the butt punt's in there.
we'll have to go through and we'll have to skim it later on. But yeah,
for sure.
so that exists. WKU has that football, has that some of that film,
God, that's beautiful.
and that's how this game goes, guys.
Wait, no, put it back. I want to talk about the guide slide.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Jordan has wrapped up the PowerPoint with the original templates, telling you how to make a PowerPoint with this. Not that one, the next one. And it's got Big Red pointing at you at the bottom, and then it says things like main body, lowercase, play with text location, less is more, allow the eye to travel, allow for space, do not overfill with text, add a page when in doubt. Thank you, Big Red. This is very helpful.
Thank you, Big Red.
This
Thank you.
is a wild ass story. I will say that it mentions UCF. UCF also played an exhibition game against a Russian team in 1992.
Yeah.
They played the Moscow Bears.
Were we
Okay.
barnstorming?
This was a different team. This was the actual Russian national American football team. And so I think we might have to tell that story next. I don't know if it's as good, but I have to say that this one, especially because the article does such a great job of compiling all the stories together and all the threads together, is great. Thank you so much to the authors, and thank you so much to y'all for listening to this really, really weird story from college football history. From recent history, usually if I dig stuff up, it's like, oh, 1930, whatever. 92, man.
Yeah.
I have
this
memories
podcast-
from then.
Yeah,
Most of us
most
were
of this podcast was alive in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
And the best part about WKU football is that even though that was a low point, didn't go well. That year was better, actually. They ended up going 4-6 that year. But by 2000, they are back in the playoffs. And by 2002, they win a national title. And that is Jack Harbaugh's last year of coaching.
The biggest red.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to find the original Big Red costume and trying to find the history of it in the newspapers. They don't have great pictures, but I did want to mention one thing. I did find in the newspaper about Big Red, the student paper, that we always asked, did everyone love Big Red as much as we did? And this is from the first newspaper. This is a letter to the editor from the first newspaper after Big Red appeared. And it just says this: "Dear Big Red, this is a love letter. I've never been compelled to write a letter to the editor of the Herald. I hope he doesn't mind if I address this one to you, but I didn't know who to address. I'm just about to burst at the seams, the way people do when they're in love." That was in Big Red first appeared in December of 79.
Hello, Proto Sicko.
And this person was writing within a week, was writing a love letter. One of our fan followers goes, "The first ever furry," and my response was, "There was no way 1979 was the first ever furry."
Oh no, there were definitely furries way before then.
Chris Vanini put a post below yours too. They revealed him around Christmas break in case people didn't like it. He went to work on the final tweaks with the planned reveal for the basketball game during Christmas break. He later learned that the school wanted to reveal Big Red during the break, so it'd be easy to scrap if the reactions were negative.
They learned from Sarge. They learned from Texas A&M Sarge.
Yeah. The time from the drawing to the reveal was only 7 to 8 weeks. He built the first costume in his fraternity house, and the whispers got out before the reveal. Finally, on December 1st, 1979, the costume carry was put in a box, rolled onto the basketball court. Big Red was announced and as a present to fans from Santa.
I can't confirm if this is the right picture or not, but I did find a picture, and it makes me very happy.
I like
Uh,
Well, that is the original Big Red costume. Yes.
Jordan
Yeah, so-
found and posted a different article about Big Red. I just want to read one paragraph about this.
Mhm.
This is before Santa rolled him out onto the basketball court. We just know that
Yeah.
he's coming. Children will be able to identify with, quote, Big Red. It will have a large mouth, quote, big enough to swallow the basketball if the referee makes a bad call.
Perfect.
I love you, Big Red.
The original mascot said this. I'll leave it. He said, "It was pitch black. I didn't know how many fans were in the stands. I didn't know where they'd stop rolling. I could hear the announcer say, 'Here he is,' and then the sides fell down on the box. The rest is pretty much lost to my memory. It was a blur. It's Big Red in the box.
I did find a Big
It's
Red.
Red box, babe.
Yeah, old Big Red is pretty nightmare filled. He's small red.
He's just a little guy.
He's the littlest red.
Baby
I love
Red.
the one. Look at the pictures with the kids around him. Look at the two kids in the background. I believe that's a mom and a kid. Look
It
at what
is.
the mom's wearing first. That outfit is great.
Oh,
That is
God, yeah.
absurd.
I had like 15 of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that tracksuit's so good. And the kid being like, "The fuck is that?"
Oh yeah, 10-year-old Beth goes swish.
I think the kid is wearing one shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid lost a shoe. Yeah.
Anyways,
Whomst among
Real-
us?
we love you, Western Kentucky. We always have. You know that. This is just more
Yeah.
proof.
I'm just realizing, like, if I, instead of going to ULM, I went to Western Kentucky because that was another option, I would have witnessed the Western Kentucky Championship in 2002 because I would have been, instead of being at, like 1 in 10 ULM that year. My God.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have made you into the man you are today.
It wouldn't have. The committee wouldn't have existed.
Yeah, if you had gone to a school with good football, there would be no Sickos committee.
Probably. So again, thank you so much, ULM, for this.
Okay, folks, that's what we got for tonight. We will talk to you on the other side. Have a good one.
Kamish took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
It's Big Red in the box.